Yes, indeed.
Alright, just a quick update for you guys. The first thing is weed stock that I bought yesterday actually pumped up right almost at market open to trigger my move to stop loss. So move to break even was 65.48 for the stock, and just pulling up the graph right here, you can see early morning in the first 5-minute candles. So it opened at 64.50 and pushed all the way up to $66 in the first 5 minutes of market open. So that triggered me pulling it up to break even. Now, fortunately, I guess if you want to say it like that, I didn't get the notification till the stock, till about 10:30 in the morning. So actually, the stock would have moved down below my entry point at 61. So this is one of those volatility things where when I was reviewing this average true range of weed at $3.58, this is an example of how it can be very challenging to, especially a day trade or any kind of trade of stock like this, where you have movements between $66 and $61.75 within 20 minutes. So in any event, I'm still in it, so I moved the stop loss to break even for this one. So now I have a second stock that is essentially green, quote unquote. So I can't lose money on either of these two trades, which is cool. And of course, the market's doing well today. It's up 1%. So overall, our stocks are doing well. CIGI is the only one that's sort of trailing behind, down 4.3%. And what I'd like to do today is to review the concept I thought of yesterday, which is whether it's a better idea to try and get into the stock at the end of the day it's having a big day versus market open the next day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to review all the stocks I was looking at to create my swing trading strategy and look for what the market did entry point of the next day, how many of them were up versus down, and what the movement was, to figure out if a lot of them opened up a lot the next day, then it makes more sense for me to come in the day before. But if there was an equal number of stocks that moved down versus up, then it's going to be a moot point. So I'll do that research now, and then I'll get back to you and see what the results say. All right, I have taken the series of winners I had with all the criteria met between $50 and $100 for the 3 periods of time, and I have essentially looked at the closing price the day that they had their big move compared to the opening price the next day. So this would be aftermarket trading. And I definitely see a pattern here. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17 out of 21 stocks moved up through the overnight. So the thing I noticed with the CIGI and the weed is common, and it's something I need to consider. So what I'm going to sort of tweak my swing trading philosophy is to try my best, and obviously it's not always going to be possible, but try my best when I am entering a new stock to get in near the end of day, the day it's having its big move, as opposed to waiting and buying it at market open the next day, because I'll be essentially giving away close to 0.25% if I do it the other way. Which, I mean, in a huge time frame, is not the biggest deal in the world, because I'm looking for a 15% move and a stop loss in the 10% range. But it could give me a little more of an edge to get in there before, when possible. So this was certainly a worthwhile review. It didn't take me too long. I just had to pull up sort of like, these numbers are all across the board from August of 2018, some of them from December, others. So it's a good sort of review across a large time period. And there's really only one outlier, this GOOS that opened like a big amount down sort of the next day, and everything else was very close. And there's a lot of pretty big movers on the upside overnight. So I'm going to implement that. I might implement it today if there's stocks at 3:30 that have met my criteria. I might pick them up before market open. And I think it'll also give me an opportunity to do a little bit of quote-unquote day trading, if you will, to try and get in at a nice limit price, as opposed to market open where I just have to buy on the market, where I'm going to lose a few percentage points, I'm sure, or a few pennies anyway, trying to just buy it wherever it's available. So we'll see. All right, we have about 40 minutes left in the market, and there are two stocks that I'm going to be purchasing. One is LNR, which is up 4.42% today, and I will just be looking to get it in the most ideal form. It's moved from 50.41 to 50.57 over the last hour or so. And then the other one is TIH, which you can see is up 5.79%. Or sorry, 9.71%, $5.78. So I'm going to try and put some limit orders into these and see if I can get them at reasonable dollar amounts. And as the market gets closer to close, I will be more aggressive. So I think for this one, I'm going to buy on TIH for 65.26. So we'll see if it can dip down here in the next half an hour or so. And LNR, oh, it's just spiked up quite a bit. LNR will go for $50.53. No, let's go lower because we got time. $50 $0.46. Perfect. So we got those two limit orders in. We'll follow them for a while and see if they fill. If it gets closer to 4 o'clock, then we'll just buy closer to market. All right, it's 20 to 4, and we filled our first of two stocks, which was LNR at 50.46. Now I had a secondary thought to this, so this one's officially good to go. My secondary thought is that if I come in too early in the day, so if I start trying to get in at like 3 o'clock or 3:15, let's say, it's also possible that I may lose that 0.25% that I was trying to gain before. Like in this example, I entered at 50.46, but we're dropped down to now 50.37. So and there's still 20 minutes left in the market, so this could theoretically drop below $50 even, although it's not that likely, and that 0.25% by buying it the day before might be lost. But the opposite is also true. This could finish at 50, 70, and we would gain our profits. So I'm not that concerned about this realistically, because 0.24% or 0.23% that we're looking to gain is fairly significant. But we'll see what LNR finishes at for the day. And this TIH has pushed up quite a bit. We have that limit at 65.26, and we're already at 65.61. so we may have to just buy it at market right near the end of the day. So we still got 18 minutes to go. We'll see how she finishes. All right, there's 12 minutes left before the market closes. I just switched my order on TIH from limit order to market order, primarily because the time left is so small, and also because I saw there's a big buy at 65.69 of over 3,000 units. So it's more likely at this point in the last 10 minutes for it to have some up pressure versus down. So I entered this stock just to confirm, 65.695, and now I'm fully invested in the two stocks. Now LNR has dropped a little bit more, so I'm actually down about 12 cents from my entry point. So at $50, that's about 0.25%. So one thing I think I will learn, or have just learned in this experience, is to really wait until the last 15 minutes of the market, if not the last 10 minutes of the market, just to make sure when I'm entering there's not too much fluctuation in the last few minutes. So we're in our stocks. We now have the full 7 stocks. I can put this as 65.695 entry. Yeah, we'll see how we do. We'll see. I'll do one more update when the market's closed. All right, so there's 1 minute left in the market. So this preemptive purchase was a pretty big, less than ideal event. I came in at 50.46, and you can see in the last there's now 20 seconds left in the market. It's currently trading at 50.18. So again, had I waited till just 4 or 5 minutes before market close, I could have got in right in this 50.20 range, even if I bought this very moment for 50.22. And the market is about to close. So the market closed at 50.18, at 50.19 at the buy, and 50.28 at the sell. And then TIH was not too dissimilar. I could have entered at 65.63. I ended up entering at 65.69. So that's about I don't know, that's only about a 5 or 6 cents move on that one, and this is, you know, fairly significant. So unfortunately, the lesson I learned here was if I'm going to enter the day before, is to really wait till right close to the market close, because this, for example, is a pretty big sell-off. You know, I got in right here, and we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. It's sold off, you know, 30 cents, we'll say, which is enough to make me weary of getting in too early before the end of the day. The other factor is this stock actually finished only up 3.88%. So it is possible that a stock could be in the alert system, so it could have triggered, but then sell off at the end of the day, so it wouldn't even be a buy for me. So this one was, fortunately, so I'm not too upset about it. Just sort of food for thought, because to go from 50.46 to 50.28, losing about 18 cents, that's going to be $50 a stock. It's going to be about a 0.36% loss, which is, you know, the gains we're trying to get from buying it early just got sort of wiped out there. But anyway, I now have my 7 stocks, so I'm fully invested. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And at this point, the weed stock has a sell at break even, and the AFN has a sell at break even. So those are both locked in. And really the only big loser is this CIGI stock, which 90.93 it finished. This is a 2-day chart. So it moved up a little bit from this point, but overall up 1,844, 1.3%. The overall market is up 3.21%. I'm not worried about those two numbers because realistically, we didn't have this full amount or close to it invested up until even today. So up until a few days ago, we only had, 21,300 invested, and even up until like a couple days, we only had 50 or 60,000 invested. So even if I put this number at like $50,000, which would be the average, we'd be up 3.69%, which is above the market. So this number should balance out over the months, and I may not have much to do for long unless the weed stock comes down to break even, which it might. One other thing, I added this. I had a bit of a question as far as when the stop loss would be 28%, what to do. And so I chose a 20% maximum stop loss across the board. So if any ATR times 5 is above 20%, I'll just move it to cap it at 20% loss. Because if I'm looking for 15% profit, it's not too bad. Risking 20% to win 15. And so we'll go for there. So that's the weekend. Hope you guys have a good one, and we'll talk soon.
Yes, indeed.